All right, everybody, so everyone is talking about that mousetrap, being stuck in a big city on that loop, working from 9 to 5 or working from 9 to 9, real estate being so expensive, being stuck in traffic all day long. Everyone seems to be tired. So as we speak right now at this moment, I'm in Sault Ste. Marie, which is about 6-7 hours north of Toronto. So let's see how I feel here. Would you move here? I mean, real estate here costs somewhere between $300,000, $400,000, right? You can own a detached property for that kind of money, but would you move here? What would you get? So what will we experience? Also, I have some questions that I'll ask you along the way, and let's start the tour of Sault Ste. Marie. Let's go. All right, so I don't get hit by a car. All right, folks, so what is it gonna be? Cheap real estate up in Sault Ste. Marie or downtown Toronto, surrounded with jungle, condos, towers, and all these people? Watch till the end to make the final decision. Okay, so first things, things that I feel right off the bat. I feel that it's much cooler. Like the temperature, because being up north here, it's so much cooler than what it is in Toronto, right? Today, I mean, I traveled the same day. So, but then, so much less crowds, like no people, right? Like it's just a lot of empty stores, right? So it seems to be pretty empty, and we're talking at this point, we are at noon, right? Like maybe it's 1 o'clock. So it you know, some of these parts look like maybe some older parts of Toronto and stuff like that, obviously with much more people. But would you live here? That's the question. That's $1 million question. I mean, look, you can move here. You can buy a property for $300,000 to $400,000. All your problems would be solved, right? You come here, most of people have enough equity that they could buy. Maybe they can work online. But would you actually move here? That's that $1 million question, because everyone is bragging about, you know, having a little bit of equity and making that particular move, right? But it seems like people are not doing it, right? So is there a reason? Like what do you think? Aside the fact, like let's say you have a job, like you can keep your job online, would you still consider this town? I mean, like it still has a lot of the stuff that you need, all the big box stores and stuff like that. But would you actually move here, right? Maybe some specialty stores that they might not have, that's geared to some special communities or something like that. But overall, they do have big box stores. They do have all the amenities. At least it seems like it. It looks like it, right? But I mean, overall, the feeling that I'm having right now, I'm having a hard time getting used to this. No people. Okay, it's a new environment for me, right? Like I would have to adjust myself, but just overall, it seems like I don't know, like I don't know if I would or not, right? So, but let's still look around. Please comment if you have ever been here before, right? Like first of all, if you ever traveled through this town and you went to the United States, right? Because we're bordering Michigan here, which is the US, right there. That's the path. That would be the bridge right there, right? But I don't know. I mean, it's weird. Like now asking the question, right? Like, I mean, what what would you do? Like how would you angle your life here, right? So some of the questions would be, would you still wait for the prices to drop and be priced out in Toronto? Who knows, maybe for 3 years or 5 years? Or would you move here and buy that property maybe in cash and be debt free, right? Is this the solution, right? So that's one of the questions. Would you rather own a full home here or rent forever in Toronto? That's an interesting question, right? Like, I thought about this question and I'm like, look, what would you rather do? Own something or just rent for life, but be in Toronto with all these amenities? Like, can we even call amenities anymore? I mean, what are the amenities in Toronto? I mean, like, we're stuck in traffic, we got no time, we're running around, like working from 9 to 9, like that there's really no time for anything, right? But even here, looking at some of these stores, I mean, everything seems to be kind of dying off, right? So I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, this seems like a part of a residential, commercial type of area just down there, right? Like, we have that, bridge towards US and Michigan, right? State of Michigan. But, you can still buy a house on the street, probably for $300,000-$400,000, and you can be debt-free overnight. Okay, let's continue. What do you actually get in the city now besides stress and debt? I don't know. It's a good question, but what do we get? I guess we get multicultural diversity. Maybe we get some type of mental safety that you will not get somewhere else, or vice. I don't know. Maybe it's the other way around, right? Like I really don't know at this point. But just being here, it feels different. Like, let me tell you, like I feel that I'm so far from Toronto that I don't know if I would visit Toronto if I moved here once a year, right? And then there's other issues, right? Like moving here as a single person is one problem, right? But I think you could still figure it out because you're single and you can maybe balance the work and the job and your debt ratio and bills, and you can make more money. And maybe entertainment wise it's a little bit different than what it is obviously in Toronto and in GTA. But now if you're moving with kids, what does this look like, right? Like, would they be happier here? Would kids be happier here versus Toronto or Toronto GTA core, right? So please comment below. So we're just approaching a bus station. This is what a bus terminal looks like right here, and it's not big. It has a couple of spots for a couple of buses, but that's what this looks like, right? So it's pretty interesting, right? Like we don't even get this in small towns anymore around Toronto. Like there are like these huge terminals and all of that stuff, right? So please comment below what you think. Like if you had an option, like moving here with family or without family, what would it be? Do you know anything about this city that you could comment below and say like, look, I would move here if I would have X, Y, and Z, and let's talk about it, right? And even some of these homes here, they have the garage, detached garage, but they're kind of at the back of these backyards. This reminds me around St. Clair in Toronto, they have usually setups like this, right? So obviously an older part of Sault Ste. Marie, but it's okay. So that's still the terminal. A couple of buses just arrived. I mean, these buses are nice, still new. So it's interesting, right? So let's continue with the questions. So what if peace was the new status symbol, right? So if peace, so what can we consider peace, right? I mean, is peace owing less money to the bank, or is peace being closer to the fire? I mean, to a big city, or maybe an international airport, or maybe food, like diversity of food chain restaurants or whatever. So I don't really know how to answer that question. But again, if you're looking right there, there's a sign, and that property has been sold, right? There's literally 2 cop cars right in front of that property. So that's pretty interesting, right? And then this is the neighborhood, what it kind of looks like. And there's more for sale signs. I think it's the same gentleman selling. Maybe he's the neighborhood expert here, right? But I have another question for you. Would your nervous system thank you for moving here, or would your ego reject it, right? So that's interesting, right? Like, I don't know. I think just moving here would need some adoption. Like I would have to I would have to figure out a way how to be in peace with my surroundings. And again, I don't know. Like, let's call it what it is. I don't know if I really like it, to be honest with you. Like you know, like it looks sketchy and shady, right? Like on so many levels. But Toronto does too. Like, depends where you go to Toronto. And if you go to, you know, Scarborough, and there's some old areas where people live like this. But the difference is, a house like this in Toronto would fetch somewhere around $2 million, but here it fetches $150,000 or $200,000, right? So I don't know. Is this really the solution? So are we staying in big cities for opportunities, or out of fear of the unknown? I don't know. I think most people stay in the cities because of the overall picture, and that's like, you know, education for kids and employment, and maybe they have some other family members you know, right there in that big city, and they have a community that they can kind of associate themselves with, right? So that could be another reason why people like to stay in big cities, right? So I don't know. There's another house for sale right there, right? I'm sure that's not more than $200,000. I don't know, like the experience, it's kind of weird, right? Because it doesn't matter where I point the camera, the streets are completely empty. Not crazy empty, right? There's nobody in front of these, you know, video TV. Like I think we probably discard this video blockbuster idea 20 years ago in the city, right? But as you can see, there are more for sale signs as I'm walking, and you know, I walked only 2-3 streets, and we could see that there are, like, you know, 15-20 for sale signs. So I don't know what the theme is here. Like, is everybody just leaving? They saw a little bit of equity and they're trying to leave, or were these properties bought during the boom, right? Like during the boom that we saw, and then like people, they're like, okay, so we bought them at X, we rented it out, we've seen some gains, now we're out, right? Like there's another sign right there, right? Like this kind of reminds me of the early 2000s in downtown Hamilton. Like, I haven't been to Hamilton in God knows how long, right? Like downtown. But this kind of what reminds me of, because I remember these homes like that, people would convert into triplexes and fourplexes, and they would rent it out, government housing or whatever, and they would make some money, right? Like, obviously. So I don't know, like is this the same or similar idea, right? Like I really don't know, but like, for example, this is a sixplex, like there's like 6 mailboxes right there. Who knows, probably I would say like $600,000-$700,000 to purchase that. I don't know who your tenant's gonna be or whatever, but right. So the main goal for this video is like, you know, would you really exit the city and high real estate prices and everything that you're going through, all the pain and all the suffering that you're going through, and move to a smaller town like Sault Ste. Marie, right? And just live here debt free? Like, you know, like you could probably work online and save 50-60K a year, you know what I mean? Like just by being here, right? So like, I mean, it's I guess everybody will resonate a little bit differently. Nice. See, people are playing guitar, they're still happy, right? So it is what it is. Yeah, please comment below. I will not end this video right here. When I land to Toronto in about an hour or two, I'll continue to film just to give you that contrast where I am right now and where I'm gonna land in a second. Guys, so I flew Porter, which is exactly this island right across from downtown Toronto, and the flight from Sault Ste. Marie to Toronto via Porter airline company was roughly around 1 hour and 10 minutes. So you know how to connect from the island to actually downtown Toronto. You can do 2 ways. You can do it via a ferry, which is roughly around 20-minute ride, or you can take a walk via these fast walking escalators or walkways, pathways. It'll probably take 15 minutes to do so. So if you don't want to wait for the ferry, I think this is one of these options that you could take. However, not a lot of people know that a tunnel exists. So there you go, something to think about. All right, so what is it gonna be? Buying that house, paying it maybe in cash, being debt-free, or being surrounded here, maybe rent for the rest of your life because you will not be able to afford anything else. Just looking at all these condos, like thousands and thousands of dollars for only a square foot of property. So you choose, you pick. I hope you like the value. I hope you really like the video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.